This is Rack and Fin Radio with Tom P., South Jersey's hunting and fishing expert on WPG Talk Radio 1450 and WPG1450.com.
Tom P., the cormorants were killing us, man. Opening day weekend, trout fishing. Aw, man, there are cormorants eating trout everywhere. Welcome to the show. Hey, you're inside Rack and Fin Radio with me, Tom P. Weekend of April 16th and 17th. The matter of the chatter from all the still waters I surveyed up and down the state. Lake and pond anglers mortified at the just carnage by the double-crested cormorants. Division of Fish and Wildlife, Bureau of Freshwater Fisheries cannot do anything about it. I saw this past week, I met several stocking trucks, great crews out there, by the way, and anglers asking them, what can the state do? The state can't do anything. It's a federal matter. 28 states were doing something until this March 30th when Judge John Bates, U.S. District Court in the District of Columbia, a liberal judge, ruled against the Fish and Wildlife Service management of cormorants. They were sued by a group named PEER, okay? Public Employees for Environmental Responsibility. Check the website. A bunch of left-wing, quote-unquote, government employees, anti-hunting, anti-fishing. Well, that was the situation, but you're going to have to deal with it. Hey, just this coming Monday, the Manasquan River gets 930, the North Branch of Metedeconk 310, the South Branch of Metedeconk 480, and the Toms River, not the trout conservation area, that's not going to be stocked, 510 fish, all rainbows. Also, Lake Shenandoah 400 and Prospertown Lake 270. Now, the Manasquan, North and South branches of Metedeconk and Toms, you cannot fish until 5 p.m. on Monday. A lot of stuff going on. Coming up, next segment, Captain Jim Cicchetti, Atlantic Star. Time to do some tile fishing. Grab that cup, grab that Red Bull. Rack and Fin Radio. Be right back.
This is Rack and Fin Radio with Tom P. on WPG Talk Radio 1450.
Yeah, loving it live back on Rack and Fin Radio with me, Tom P. WPG 1450 AM from 6 to 7. The great talk radio from 7 to 8, 97.3 ESPN FM, 50,000 watts of the Rack and Fin Radio message. Also streaming live on the web, WPG1450.com, 97.3 ESPN.com. Hey, this coming Tuesday, Swedesboro Lake, 380 rainbows going in. Greenwich Lake, 350. Harrisonville Lake, 390. And Iona Lake, 320. As I mentioned earlier, a lot of stuff going on the fishing scenes. One absolutely intriguing type of fishing has been, it just stays for whatever reason under the radar. Very select group of anglers, very select group of captains, in this case, a captain down here in Cape May County. It's called tile fish. Sure you've heard about it. Deep dropping tiles. Very specialized. I mean, you have electric reels, special rods, a whole 9 yards on this absolutely intriguing species. Now you have your gray, a.k.a. blue line tiles, which have just had a management, for lack of a better term, a management plan passed, and you have your golden tiles. Beautiful fish, great eating. Joining us on the line right now, very, very, very special guest from the Atlantic Star down here on Wildwood Crest, Captain Jim Cicchetti, noted as one of the greatest tile fish captains along the Jersey Shore. Captain Jim, thanks for joining us on Rack and Fin today. How are you?
Good, Tom. Real good. Thanks for having me.
More than welcome, Cap. The tile fish, again, sort of an enigma, Captain, as people say, I heard of them. Isn't that just basically bottom fishing? I said, well, catching dogfish, is that basically like mako shark fishing, so to speak? Very specialized, Jim. You've established a niche in this angling market, so to speak. How long have you been doing tile fishing, Cap, and what was the impetus to get you into it?
Well, we've been doing it really on and off I've been in business for 40 years, but for the most part, it's been the last 10 years that we've kind of really pushed it, and a couple of things have really driven us to that. One is the way the fisheries are anymore with all the closures and the bag limits and the size limits. That's one thing that's driven us to it, and the other thing is a lot of the rods and reels and the tackle is much more advanced than what it used to be years ago, and the customers are more savvy, I guess, and looking to catch something. It's very difficult anymore with the regulations the way they are for the customer to get home with. If they can get home with dinner, they're doing good anymore on most of our regular trips.
Exactly.
There's no filling up coolers anymore. I mean, for the most part. I mean, we do on these trips and some of our offshore sea bass trips, but for the regular trips, it's pretty tough usually.
Well, Cap, correct me if I'm wrong, but again, with these, for example, the Daiwa system with the Dendo, the Seaborg reels, Electric reel. Some guys, well, you can't establish an IGFA record or state record, I guess, with an electric reel, but other guys do the manual crank under the Accurate, Extreme, the Maxell reels. Low ratio, like 4-to-1, very specialized rods. It is a deep dropping kind of fishing. It's not. Well, these fish are anywhere from 50 to 70 fathoms and even deeper, Skipper?
Yeah, on the most part, we're on our average trips, we're fishing 400 to 600, 650, 650 feet of water. Woo! For the most part.
Oh,
the deepest we've gone is to where we can. Well, we still catch. The deepest I've gone really is about around 1,000 feet of water. I mean, it gets really too much for the people. Actually, we've had some excellent fishing in 1,000 feet of water, but you have to have really perfect conditions and the right crew on board for that. I mean, the average, even seasoned fishermen have an extremely difficult time in that depth of water.
Joining us on the line, Captain Jim Cicchetti, Atlantic Star. Talk is tilefish. Out of Cape May, Wildwood Crest is where the Atlantic Star is headed. Now, Captain, you're talking that deep, so we're talking the canyons, correct? Like the Linden Cove, places like that?
Yes, yeah, all the yes, everything, anywhere along the continental shelf, yes.
Well, in fact, the Linden Cove, Captain, is where the two existing state records have been caught. The blue line tile, again, a.k.a. the gray tilefish, 23 pounds, 4 ounces. That was set in 2015 in the Lindy. And the golden tile, 63 pounds, 8 ounces. That was also in the Linden Cove. Cap, are these, I mean, when you're talking blue lines, the gray tilefish, you're talking what an average weight, and then give me the average, catch for the Goldens. What do you think?
Well, the blue line, I mean, we catch quite a few of them, and we used to, matter of fact, we used to catch, a lot of them, 5 years ago. It's dwindled down some, because we used to catch them down over Virginia, and that's where they've kind of been moving up the beach, up the coast. Mm-hmm. But the average on the blue line now is about, just somewhere between 5 and 10 pounds. Okay. And the golden tiles, a big blue line tile is 20 pounds, or 18, 20 pounds, which we normally, usually we have at least one of them on the boat, on all the trips. And the golden tiles, we got beat out by another head boat up at Point Pleasant for that largest fish. He beat us out by, I think, 6 ounces or something like that. Oh. We had the world record there up until, he beat us out. But wow. But anyway, but the golden tile is the biggest, like 63 pounds, 64 pounds.
Those are specimen fish. Well, Captain, I want to touch on the tackle, especially the terminal tackle here. You're talking, again, 400, 500, 600 feet, 700 feet down to thousands, the extreme. But, Captain, you're talking anywhere from, 24 ounces to 48 ounces and heavier sinkers? What kind of rigs you using and what kind of bait?
Most of the guys, we try to get away with 2 pounds of lead. Because after you get heavier than that, then it's the people really have a difficult time feeling the bites and having enjoying themselves. So 2 pounds is pretty much most of the time they use 2 pounds or less. As far as the rig's concerned, you can use it's nothing fancy. The easiest way to explain tile fishing, it's like deep water flounder fishing. We drift. You can use a regular top and bottom rig. We supply squid, but any sort of fresh meat, especially like bluefish or bonita or something like that that's fresh, works very well for them.
Captain, are there times when the fish show a predilection for one type of meat over another? Like, oh, my God, they're hitting green, for example, with the tog. They're hitting green crabs, not the white leggers or vice versa. Do you see that on these deep drop trips?
No, not really. I don't see that. The only reason the tog do that is because it's just their mouths get softer, and that's why they go with the softer crab in the winter months. But no, I don't really see that with the tile fishing so much.
Somebody's holding up a sign. Basically, what he's saying, listeners, is that they're like me. They eat anything.
Right, exactly. Me also.
Join us on the line from the Atlantic Star, Captain Jim Cicchetti there of Wildwood Crest. Topic is tile fishing. Well, Cap, again, flat bottom, wrecky bottom, sticky bottom, where are you drifting for these tiles?
Most of the time you're looking for a muddy bottom, a mucky bottom, You will catch the blue line tile. You'll catch them on rocks or around a wreck or rough bottom. But pretty much the golden you have to be in some sort of a soft bottom for the golden tiles. But you'll catch the blue lines also on a soft bottom also.
So down there on the soft bottom, they're basically eating mollusks, worms, pretty much like me, anything they could fit in their mouths, correct?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, we bring them up. When you got them, they got all kinds of crazy stuff in them. All kinds of crazy fish. Tilefish burrows, into the mud. So, they have not very good eyesight, but they have, very good sense of smell. So that's, and you really stop. We don't really catch hardly any in the dark. And normally on all of our trips, we start fishing around daylight. But usually it takes about an hour for the sun to get up, before you get any sort of daylight down. You figure out how deep you're fishing, before, it really affects, that depth of water. So we don't really catch anything until usually, until the sun's been up at least an hour or something like that.
And, Cap, back to the tackle. So it's naturally a braided, a super line, would say a mono top shot, correct? Are guys using, 50, 65, 80-pound test braid?
Most of the time, yes. Yeah. Oh, yeah, you want to use the Power Pro. You can feel all the bites. It's like night and day between that and the mono. But we suggest putting at least a 30-foot piece of mono down around where your tackle is, where your hooks are, just so the mates can untangle it easily and because you can't see that Power Pro. That stuff is brutal.
But Captain Cicchetti, I just can't imagine. Listen to me. Listeners, imagine this. Okay, just saying, going with the lightest, 24 ounces of weight. Say you have a tandem hook rig. You got 2 tiles on. You have that current, and you're cranking it up from 5, 6, 7, 800 feet. Cap, you have to be in shape for this, no? Unless you're using an electric reel. But still, you got to be in shape. That's like a physical beatdown.
Yeah, you catch a few. You don't take too much to have people sitting down, that's for sure. But most of the guys it's really surprising. It's a select group that really that do this type of fishing. Mm-hmm. There's really like 3 head boats on the East Coast that do a lot of it.
Right.
And I'm one of them. And the same group of people go between all 3 boats.
I know. By the way, Dave R. Beitman of the Real Seat sends his regards. He's probably the hardest core tile guy I've ever met. It's scary.
Yeah, no, Dave. Dave's been out fishing with me a few times, and matter of fact, I saw him at a meeting not so long ago, a couple months ago.
Well, Cap, let's speaking of the meeting, if we can, because again, it's livelihood. You're talking to management or mismanagement or almost indifference to management. With the tile fish. Now, I understand the blue lines now. They've made the limit 7 per person on a party boat. Is that right?
Yes. Well, what happened was they went to an 8-fish limit on golden tile.
Right.
Probably maybe 3 years ago. This is from 35 degrees. There's 35 degrees north, which is Cape Hatteras north, is the North Atlantic section, which is where we fish. And they went to an 8-fish golden tile limit in that area. But we never there was never any limit whatsoever on blue line tile. So you could catch as many, and there was no size on them. And then what happened was the southern states had a issue with they had limits, and on the blue line tile where they're more prevalent than they are up north, and consequently, I guess a couple of years ago, what happened was a lot of the commercial boats were catching the blue line tile down south, and they were running them in the ports above 35 degrees, running them up to Cape May and unloading their catches. Well, and they were and so anyway, to make a long story short, the north, the northern above 35 degrees, we had to do something. So we put in place a temporary plan that'll expire in June, where we said, okay, well, 7 blue line tile per man, and a 300 pound commercial bag limit. So that's been in place till June, this coming June.
Right.
But we had to come up with something on a more permanent basis by this June. And that was what this meeting was, like in January that I went to and Dave was at. They were trying to get they still haven't completely formulated what it's going to be, what's going to come out. Right. But it's going to be, I can tell you right now, it's not going to be any more than 7 blue line tile. But that's what that's about, I guess. So, and which is plenty. I mean, if we can catch 8 golems and 7 blue lines, that's a lot of fish for a guy. That's plenty.
It is, Captain. I agree with you there. But it seems that they're basing the data. It's on antiquated stock assessments. And what was the last one? 2003 or 4 or something. So from your end, from a business end, this has to be especially frustrating.
Well, the frustrating part is, with any of these fisheries, is the same thing. There is the stock assessments are pretty bogus as far as the numbers that they come up with.
Right.
But it's the only data that they have, and quite frankly, thankfully they are trying to do something, even though it's some of the stuff is not really done correctly. But like with the tilefish, really there's no data whatsoever.
Right.
I mean, it's just our VTR, our vessel trip reporting. We has a head boat.
Exactly.
We report our trips and how many we catch and that kind of thing. So the only real data that they have is whatever head boats that fish for them, which is only a couple of us. And that's if we report them. And I certainly do.
Right. Exactly.
And the other guys hopefully do too. But that's the only data they really have to go by, because other than that, it's all just what a guy thinks, and I mean there's no concrete facts, So
that's it. On the line with us right now this morning, April 16th, Captain Jim Cicchetti, Atlantic Star. We're talking tiles and tile fishing, deep dropping, very specialized. He said it's like fishing for flounder, but on a bigger, much, much, much deeper scale. Well, Cap, someone wants to get involved with this. I mean, get on your boat. You guys have mates that'll help people out. What's the dealio?
Yeah, we run, like now we're sailing every Wednesday, Saturday, and Sunday, and there's 2 captains on the boat and 3 mates, and we take 28 passengers. We fish on one side of the boat, and that includes a bunk. We leave at midnight the night before, and we fish all day. We get in usually around, sometime between 6 and 8 o'clock the following day.
Well, listen, you want to try something. You want to try something different. Test your moxie. This is it. Well, Cap, do me a favor. Give that website and phone number, please.
Sure. The website is my initials JJC boats BOATS.com, www.jjcboats.com, and the phone number is area code 609-729-7776.
Okay, Cap, not to sandbag you. Someone asked me to ask you this. When it comes to table time, out of the oven, on the grill, out of the frying pan, favor golden tiles or the blue line tiles?
Golden tile all the time.
There we go, man. Captain Jim Cicchetti, thanks for joining us on Rack and Fin Radio. Listeners, go to that website. You want to get into tile fishing, try it out. An entirely new type of angling along the Jersey Shore, very select. As the captain said, only 3 boats are doing it in this region, the Northeast region, and Captain Jim is recognized as one of the best. Cap, you have a great springtime. Listen, this season is going to run how long for you?
We sail year-round, Tom.
I mean, for the tiles, you're going to go right through the summer?
Oh, yeah. Well, yes. Well, I don't sail usually July and August, because we turn the boat goes whale watching in the summer months, and then but then we start back up again at the end of September.
Okay,
and we go through the whole winter.
Gotcha, man. Hey, I may show up on one of these tile trips. Just leave me inside. I'll have my little cooler with my food.
No problem, Tom.
Take care, Skip. Thanks for joining us. Be good.
Take care. Thank you.
Yeah, I've been tile fishing twice to say I did it. And let me tell you something. First time was, man, you talk about a beatdown. And that was back in the 90s sometime. And I went maybe 6-7 years ago. Caught some fish. But, man, unless you have electric reels. Okay, like I said, the dendos, like hit that boom. Slowly up they come. But, man, it'll test your physical wherewithal. But I'll tell you, these fish are fun to catch. Bring them up. And, man, it's tough to be. Now, I like my triggerfish. I like my tuna. I like my mako. I like my thresher. I love my sea bass. I love my tog, my white perch. Fewer things are better on the table than fresh tiles, man. And they freeze well. They do freeze well. Tom P. up against a break. Be right back. Rack and Fin Radio.
This is Rack and Fin Radio with Tom P. on WPG Talk Radio 1450.
Yeah, back inside Rack and Fin Radio with me, Tom P. WPG 1450 AM from 6 to 7, the Great Talk Radio, 7 to 8, 97.3 ESPN FM, 50,000 watts of the Rack and Fin radio message reaching far and wide. 13 seasons, New Jersey's longest running outdoor and most successful, I will say, radio program. Hey, man, Youth Turkey Day next Saturday, the 23rd to 25th. Kicks it off. Now, last week we had Tony McBride on talking about turkey management, turkey population, etc. Overall health of the statewide flocks. It's looking good. I'll tell you, was it Friday morning? I'm zipping down Rural Road right off 539 there in Southern Ocean County. Right there. It's an ancillary road to 539. Right there. Come around the bend is in full strut. Whoa! Monster gobbler. I'm thinking, nah, it's not worth it. But there he was, probably a 11, maybe 12-inch beard, just doing a strut in a circle. On one side of the road were 3 hens. On the other lane to the left were 4 hens. I'm thinking, this dude has got it made. It's going to be, I think, a tremendous turkey season. And I had a few calls. People asked me, how do we get involved with turkey hunting? What about the National Wild Turkey Federation? All South Jersey listeners calling. Thanks, by the way, for tuning in. Told them about an organization called Tri-County Longbeards. Okay, you're talking, I guess, Cape May, Atlantic, Cumberland County. Fantastic organizations. Been around for a few years. Joining us on the line right now from Tri-County Longbeards is Lou Gambale. He's been a guest on Rack and Fin fairly infrequently over the years. You know why? Because he's turkey hunting around the world, not doing that, watching his sons. I'll tell you, his sons, they're all going to be pro football players. I'm telling you that. And Lou I believe he just completed a World Slam. We'll get into that in a little bit. But right now, let's talk some Tri-County Longbeards. We're going to keep on the turkeys into next weekend because this is going to be a banner season. Mr. Gambale, Case of Deech, how are you?
Good morning, Tom. It's always a great pleasure to talk to you, my friend.
Lou, turkeys. I'm thinking, I'm a little beat-up van, and I'm thinking I can get out and maybe jump on him, get a shot at him.
This is the time of the year. I mean, for a turkey hunter, it doesn't get any better than where we're at right now. This is the window of pure excitement for us.
Lou, I noticed we had Ronnie Jones on last week, ACP Rednecks Pride. Guys make some tremendous calls. He and his son Jennings, and extraordinary turkey hunter. But, we were talking early season going with the hen, the big hen distraction going on. I find it to be even more of a distraction getting called off, like D week, the last week or two of the season when most of the hens are mated. And, man, you're working this bird. He's coming in. All of a sudden, I see a hen over there. Seeing one is better than hearing one. Lou, and away they go. So we put our stock in the early season this year. So next week after, we are going to be out. What is your schedule for this year, Lou? You going to hunt Jersey?
Oh, yeah, I'm going to hunt Jersey. I actually was blessed. I kicked my season off in March down in Alabama and then made a trip out of the country. And I'm heading down to North Carolina this weekend. And then it's all the focus goes to New Jersey for a few weeks.
Lou, I imagine you have not one, not two, but probably 10 different gobblers scoped out, correct?
Well, yeah, I'm pretty protective about, but yeah, I will tell you that I've been doing scouting. I actually was out this morning with my first cup of coffee and just making my notes and trying to find out where some of these boys' haunts are.
Right. Look, what I found, New Jersey, for our size, is very blessed with copious amounts of public land, and we have the opportunity to hunt private and public. I should say my lovely Denise Marie does, because I don't get allowed on private land. Guys say, she can hunt. You can't. But in all seriousness, public lands, we have some tremendous turkey hunting opportunities on lands that anyone can go on.
Well, we do. You hit the nail on the head, Tom, and I would tell you that in my travels, I would tell you pound for pound, New Jersey's as good as it gets, especially South Jersey in terms of wildlife management areas and great opportunities to hunt the birds.
Well, speaking of South Jersey, let's talk about that outstanding organization and how it got started, Tri-County Longbeards. What was the genesis?
Well, I thank you. We're in our 6th year, and really the genesis of it was that a bunch of great folks put their heads together, and we decided that, we had so much passion for the birds. We had all been doing some ancillary volunteer work in different areas in terms of wildlife, but we wanted to pull our resources, if you will, and take it to the next level. So the National Wild Turkey Federation really afforded us that rock-solid base that we really were looking for to kind of covet our efforts and get together and kind of just really give back to wildlife and give back to hunters. So we've been very successful, largely due to folks just like yourself and Denise, who support our organization year in and year out. And it's a simple mission. It's, volunteers are the spirit and the success of the organization.
Lou, over the years, have you seen, I guess I have the opportunity to hunt from Sussex all the way down to Cape May, points in between. South Jersey is now a turkey hunting destination. I see, and look, I speak to people at Fish and Wildlife Licensing Bureau, a lot of non-resident hunters are coming here now. One guy's from Maryland said, and Maryland gets, they shoot more birds than we do, but he said, you don't realize what you have here. And he says he gets his birds down there and he comes up here. It's not that long a drive. He said, fantastic turkey hunting in here. And he's hunting, Lou, public land. So that to me that tells it all.
Well, that's it. And when you think about our southern zones right now, I mean, we have the blessings, I think, of by far having the best density of populations of birds in the state. And to your point, you're absolutely right. We are getting a bigger influx each year of out-of-staters and then the folks from North Jersey who are opting to put in for the lottery for zones down here versus up north. So, it's a little bit of a challenge because, birds are fickle. You want to walk your populations on a tight leash, and you don't want to overhunt them and you don't want to overpressure them. I mean, for those that don't know, about 50% of your wild turkeys die every year from a host of things. So we really depend on a successful poult hatch to replenish those mortalities.
On the Rack and Fin line this morning, April 16th, WPG 1450 AM from 6 to 7 and from 7 to 8, 97.3 ESPN FM is Lou Gambale, Tri-County Longbeards, and we're still talking turkeys. The season's going to open. The Youth Day is next Saturday, the 23rd. The 25th, it starts, and it goes right through the Friday of the Memorial Day weekend. Lou, so would you say, when did you notice, again, South Jersey really coming into its own compared to North Jersey? And you Lou, you were spot on. I know guys and gals who have abandoned, although some numbers are coming back up there, turkey hunting areas 1 through pretty much 9. And coming down here, for the extra over-the-counter permits and whatever, and leftover permits. So it says something about South Jersey. When did you notice the tide turning? Because it was always North Jersey, North Jersey, North Jersey.
Well, we've been in a pretty good run now, literally, since back to probably the late 1990s into the early 2000. And it really has, I don't want to say it's peaked, but it's gotten to a very, very successful level and stabilized. We've been moving birds readily year over year here back up to North Jersey, and we hope that some of that relocation work is actually helping bring their populations back. To your point, I'm hearing some real good things about the birds returning in a much more favorable way up north.
I know that's a good thing because I want it statewide. And people say you're a South Jersey guy, you hunt North Jersey. Why are you hunting north? You're south. You're a North Jersey guy. You're hunting south. What's it to do? Lou, in Jersey, you could be anywhere around the state within 2 to 3 hours. So to me,
right.
It's all. I mean, there's states out there. I said to McBride last week on the air, there's turkey hunting states with counties bigger than New Jersey. So.
Oh yeah, it's out into the Midwest. It's a whole different ball game.
Look, back to the Longbeards before we get to your congratulations, by the way, ahead of time on your World Slam listeners. This is where Lou went. Unbelievable, and what he shot, unbelievable. But Lou, the recruitment of the women and especially the younger hunters, Tri-County Longbeards has been strong with that, correct?
Yes, we have. We've been very successful. We actually have some women in our chapter that, quite frankly, their efforts are invaluable to us. You can't put a price on what they do for us each year. But with that said, we have begun, I should say, to turn our efforts now on mentoring hunters.
Beautiful.
And obviously, while mentoring youth is very important, mentoring all ages, men, women, children, getting folks, try to get them immediately following taking the hunter ed class and give them an opportunity to kind of get their feet planted, if you will, and provide them with some solid mentorship so they may go forth and not only be able to competently go out with confidence and hunt on their own, but then eventually they pass it on to some future hunters. So right now, as we come up, you've mentioned Youth Day, we've got a host of our chapter members that are going out and going to be mentoring youth on Youth Day. And that's a big deal for us. We actually hope to really springboard that into quite a big event in the years to come. And then from there, we encourage not only our chapter members, but all experienced hunters to look for opportunities to take someone with them. And show them the ropes, if you will. You're going to get back fourfold what you give out.
Well, absolutely. I agree with you 1,000% on that. First started getting Denise Marina deer hunting and everything. Watching her, I said, that reminds me of me when I started way back when in the early 70s. And I get, like I said, a fourfold thrill. In fact, Lou, I leave it up to her now to shoot the deer, gut the deer, drag the deer. She does it all. And now same thing with the turkey hunting. She is a maniacal turkey hunting, Lou, where the past few years she's going only with the bow. She's getting that like psych. I mean, Lou, she's getting crazy about it. But Lou, now let's talk about a feat that not many turkey hunters do. You've been turkey hunting for decades, Lou, and you achieved now what is described as a world slam. Can you go into that, please? Sure.
Well, this was a journey in the making over quite a few years. If you look at the NWTF has a neat program. Look, job one, or we say pleasure number one for me, is just being out there. But the NWTF put a great program out called the Grand Slam, and that's if you're successful and you want to go off and kind of hunt in some different places, you can harvest a Eastern, a Rio Grande, an Osceola, or a Merriam turkey. If you're successful in doing that, you get a Grand Slam. If after you've done that, you want to take it a step further, you can go on and you can take a hunt or make a hunt for the Gould's turkey, which predominantly resides in the Chihuahua region of Mexico.
Exactly. Yep.
I was blessed to draw a tag after 5 years in Arizona, and I successfully took my first Gould's in the Coronado National Forest on the Mexican border, but in Arizona. Once I was able to do that, then it was a few years in planning, and I planned this trip down to the Yucatan Peninsula, where I just got back last Saturday, and I was successful in getting a beautiful ocellated turkey. All I can say is that whole adventure could not have been better. It totally exceeded my every wish that I could have had for the trip, from fellowship, from camaraderie, from the Mexican people, the food, the accommodations, and the hunting. I give it 5 stars across the board. It was just a great experience for me. Okay, let me clear this up. I've been to that part of the hemisphere. Everything in those jungles and on those field edges, all those plants want to stab, stick, slice, dice, impale, or otherwise shred you. Then you have the snakes and the spiders that a bite here, a bite there, and you may as well, call it a lifetime. Lou, what made you? That is hell down there, little brother. Well, I live for the adventure, to be honest with you, and I'm grateful that I've been gifted with the ability to look past some of that. Now, with that said, I would tell you that it's not for the faint of heart. If you don't like working or navigating your way through some very thick stuff, you're right. There are a host of species of poisonous snakes. I actually saw a huge rattler while I was there. I caught up a 3-foot boa, which was a really cool snake, and saw some other snakes. Wasn't sure what they were, but to your point, you've got that jungle's just alive with plant life and critters that might not be so friendly to you. But I think turkey hunters will appreciate this. Once you kind of go in the zone, if you will, and you got your game face on, certainly you got to be cognizant of what you're stepping on or sitting down around. But it's amazing what these birds can do and how they can drive you to greater heights when they're not gobbling in Mexico, but singing. But their singing is the equivalent to our birds gobbling. And if you're a turkey hunter, you'll get it real quick, and your hair will come up on your back just as quick as the eastern will get it up.
Whoa, Gambale, give us a little tune there, bud. How do they sound?
Oh, I can't. Listen, the best I can tell you is, here's what I tell you, Tom. If you go on the internet and punch in an oscillated Tom singing, what you're going to hear is, and if you get close enough to him, it's deafening. And I had the pleasure of doing this.
Wow.
You get this deafening drum, boom, 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 and then he hits it out to you. And it's I'm doing a terrible job of it. Well, I can emulate our birds pretty good. These guys were a whole new game for me. And I'll tell you this. I'd say this. I went down there knowing less about the oscillated bird than I did any of our other subspecies. Mm-hmm. But I came home living to the same idea I've always had, which are turkeys are turkeys. I don't care where you go, where you hunt them. While the terrain is different, turkeys are turkeys. And I can tell you, I put that oscillated bird right there with any of the other 5 species. They're turkeys. Their mannerisms, where they go about their business. The only difficult part is I find them to be particularly even more wary than our birds, if you can believe that.
Good grief. Well, listen, before I let you go, congratulations on the World Slam on the Line, Lou Gambale, Tri-County Longbeards. Lou, give that website and Facebook page of the organization, please.
Yes, our website, you can go to the New Jersey NWTF website, and when you get in there, you can select any of our chapters in the state. We have chapters all the way far up north, and then, of course, us down south. There is a banquet coming up at the Skylands chapter this Sunday. If anyone lives up in the northern area of New Jersey, you can access their information online. Our banquet, again, this year is on August 19th at the beautiful Greenview Room at Eastland Golf Course. And that's a Friday evening. And, you know, if anyone wants to donate or contribute to our efforts, we are more than grateful for anything that anyone wants to do to support the great outdoors, mentoring hunters, and a lot of the projects that we're working on. And you can reach me through the website, or if it's okay, Tom, I'll give you my my email right now.
Go ahead, Lou. Go.
That's Lou, LOUDG 56 at gmail.com. And I guarantee I'll get back to you as quick as possible. And again, we couldn't be more grateful for all the support we received from all the folks that support our chapter.
Okay, Lou, take care. Again, congratulations. Thanks for joining us on Rack and Fin. I'll see you in the field, big brother.
Thank you, brother, for everything you do.
Take care, man. See you.
See ya.
Yeah, man, you don't, well, guys like Gambale would, Denise Marie probably would, don't want to be hunting down that Yucatan area. Tom P, grab that cup, grab that Red Bull real long on that segment. Up against a break. Be right back. Rack and Fin Radio.
This is Rack and Fin Radio with Tom P on WPG Talk Radio 1450.
Yeah, welcome back to Rack and Fin Radio with me, Tom P. WPG 1450 AM from 6 to 7, from 7 to 8, 97.3 ESPN FM, 50,000 watts of the Rack and Fin Radio message. Want to jump off to a fishing report with cool Freddie Klug down there at the great Utches Marina in Cape May. Freddie, little brother, what is happening down your way, my man?
What is happening? We need some decent weather, Tommy.
This is true.
The fish are biting out the Cape May Reef. They've been good, and the boys have been out 3 trips each, 2 charter boats, 3 trips each, and they've both had limits for their tog. Nothing in the Delaware Bay. I just got a guy buy some bait to me about right before you called, and then they're going to go try for some drummer stripers down the lower end of the bay here. So hopefully we'll get a little better report next week.
Oh, absolutely. Fred, now listen, I know these tog foot I'm hearing anywhere 6, 7, 8, up to 10 pounds. Is that the report you're getting as well?
Yes, absolutely. And like I said, the Cape May Reef, it's been good since the boys got in the water. They got in the water April 1st, and they've only been out 3 times. And this northeast wind this weekend is going to hurt them too, John. Here.
Freddie, any word on weak fish at night down in the back?
Haven't heard, man. Like I said, I haven't had any surf fishermen in here. One of the guys in my gun club that I belong to, he tried last week, and he said nothing but grass down here in the surf over in Wilder Crest. So he said just a terrible day. Couldn't even get a good cast out there without grass. So everything's still stirred up, Tom.
Okay, Fred, I'll give you guys a call next week. Take care, man.
Okay, take care.
And hey, revisiting the trout stocking scene this coming Wednesday, the 20th. Birch Grove Park Pond will receive 290 rainbows. Gloucester City Park Pond, 100. Grenlock Lake, 270. Hamilton Lake, 420. Oak Pond, 320. And Heritage Park Pond, another 320. And again, don't be discouraged by the cormorants. There is nothing that can be done. Hopping down to America's greatest shore town resort, Fanatics on West Avenue in Ocean City. Justin's on the line. Justin, what is happening in the back and out front, little brother? Talk to me.
Hey, Tom, how you doing?
I'm doing. How am I doing? Are you kidding me?
Action's starting to pick up quite a bit.
Excellent.
Down Corson's Inlet, we had early in the week a lot of little bass in there, and then about Wednesday afternoon, the bass pushed out and the bluefish pushed in. The average weight of the blues that were being caught were 7 pounds.
Oh, nice.
Just about anything you threw at them, they were taking, from top order plugs to metal lures to soft plastics. I heard they pushed down behind Sea Isle, and they're in the back behind Corson's. Haven't really moved towards like Great Egg Bay or anything like that, but I feel like with the numbers that were there, they will be soon. 9th Street area, there's been a lot of little bass too. During the day, it seems to be more bloodworms, couple bigger fish on clams. More at night, it's been lures, soft plastic, same thing, small bass.
Justin, what about the magic word weak fish? You hear anything at night?
Not up here. I heard more down by Sea Isle, 1 or 2 being caught. Again, soft plastics, pink or white.
Gotcha. And any of your guys still out for tog? I know when the wind finally lays down. Any guys get out this past week?
Not too much. The water was very dirty down here.
Yeah, that's right.
The water started cleaning up about midweek, and I heard 1 or 2 fish being caught around 9th Street as well. But reports aren't hot and heavy yet.
Okay, Jess, I'll catch you guys next week. Thanks, man.
All right, man. Thank you.
Yeah, still 2 weeks. Still 2 weeks in a tog right now. As I said earlier, drum has been caught from the bank up there, Ohio Avenue, Ohio Road, whatever, end of Radio Road. Just before you get to the end of Radio Road, Mr. Graveling Point, make that left along that sedge bank. But hey, man, we're talking tournaments. The Beach and Boat is on. It's been going on. Open up April 1st. And I understand we have a couple of weigh-ins joining us on the line. Captain Mike Young of the Beach and Boat Tournament are going to fill us in the next couple of minutes about the tourney itself. Captain Mike, what's saying, little brother? What do you have?
Good morning, Tom. It's a gorgeous day and great weekend. Things are going to be going good. You're going to have everybody in the world hanging out there at Graveling Point, though.
Oh, let me tell you, man, it's like me at the Jolly Tamale all-you-can-eat buffet. It is loaded.
Yeah. I hear the Blues are starting to run, too, and, of course, the Tog. We got Jack Wolford on the board, laying them in over there at the Fisherman's headquarters. 2 Togs, so he's in first and second place right now on the board. So we're looking forward to an exciting 2016 season. Things just keep growing, and everything's going great.
I know, Captain Mike, I'm expecting now, I'll interrupt you. Freddie at Hutchins Marina just said they're expecting some drum by this week up in the Bay, but they're getting the drum. They had a good bite, fair to good bite at Great Bay along that Ohio Pebble Beach, right there. Water got cold. Scotty Alberts and Scott's bait and tackles it dropped off. Then it just kicked up again later this week. So, I mean, there's drum. Listen, there's drum to be had, and that is a category in the Beach and Boat. Captain Mike, go into the 8 categories, please.
You got striper, bluefish, weakfish, black drum, of course, sea bass, kingfish, and tog. I think I got all 8, didn't I, Tom?
Yeah, you got all 8. Now, there's 2 weeks left in the tog season. Then we get into the summer where it's 1 fish. Then the crazy run in November. But, Captain Mike, now there's some big tog out there being caught. I'm hearing a lot of double-digit fish. So, listeners, get involved. The Beach and Boat Tournament. People, Captain, how can people sign up?
They just go right to beachandboat.com. That's the word beach, the letter N, the word boat.com. Just go right there, and it's real easy to see. Just click on sign up now. Anglers from the past, all they do is they go in and they'll have their pre-registration, their profile up, and they just click on register now and they sign in.
Okay, Captain Mike, we are on board. We'll see you guys sometime. You and Crazy Angler Mike, sometime in the next week or so. You take care, man.
Sounds good, Tom. Thanks.
And joining us for a report right now up around the Barnegat Light area is Chuck from the Pick-a-Lily Inn, striper and tuna angler extraordinaire. Chuck, how's it going, man? What's happening?
Not much, Tom. It's going great. How are you doing?
Pretty good. I want the turkeys, the trout. Now the saltwater's starting to go bonkers. Only a couple of weeks left in the tog. I want to be on a Carolyn Ann 3 this Sunday, but who knows? Because I get seasick on a floating dock. Chuck, I just want to shoot my head, or shoot myself in the head rather. What do you have going on?
They're catching some smaller stripers back on the flats, back behind Double Creek and up in Oyster Creek right there. Those flats have been picking that stripers pretty good the past few days.
Oh, what's the hot bait, Chuck?
They're on little chuggers, about a 3 or 4 inch chugger on top waters, and they come up and they smash them.
Any specific tide, Chuck, or first light towards dark? What do you got?
First light towards dark. In the middle of the day, there seems to be a big lull, but you get that dusk and dawn, and they like that.
Okay, Chuck, have you heard any bluefish?
I have not, Tom.
I know some showed up. They're really sporadic. They're hitting them here, hitting them there, but they are here. So to me, that means the season is in full swing.
I can't wait. Those early spring blues are great. Good eating and fun to catch.
Hey, Chuck, let me ask you this. Listen, I just got something from Bonnie at the Pickle. How do you are able to even walk in the morning, Chuck? Check this out, listeners. This is one of the appetizers at the Piccalilli Inn. Redneck rolls, pulled pork, Monterey Jack cheese, and coleslaw deep fried in a wonton skin and served with tangy ranch dipping sauce. Are you kidding me, Chuck?
It's unbelievable, isn't it?
Oh my! Why do you even bother to go fishing? I would just be hanging at the bar.
I do that too sometimes. Okay,
Chuck, listen, from what I heard at Captain Adam on the Canyon Runner, there is a pocket of 69-degree water out there in one of the canyons, so he's hearing some bluefin and yellowfin. You heard anything to that effect yet?
I heard the same thing that the water's out there. We're going to try and go on Monday if the weather's good. A buddy of mine just got a 42 yellowfin. Got it last year. And it's in the water. We're doing outriggers this afternoon and trying to go one day early this week. Okay, Chuck, I'll catch you guys next week, man. Thanks. Tom, thanks. Have a great day. Up against the final break. Be right back. Rack and Fin Radio.
This is Rack and Fin Radio with Tom P. on WPG Talk Radio 1450.
Yeah, welcome back to final segment Rack and Fin Radio with me, Tom P. WPG 1450 AM from 6 to 7. A great talk radio from 7 to 8, 97.3. ESPN FM, 50,000 watts of the Rack and Fin Radio message celebrating our 13th year on the air. Let's get ahead. Freshwater Report. Talk to Jeff out there at Blackwater Sports Center, North Delsey Drive in Vineland. Jeff, what's happening on the Sweetwater scene, brother?
Well, we had a pretty slow weekend for trout, but that's changed and picked up now. This weather has turned a corner. Guys have been doing really well on live bait like mealworms in South Vineland Park and Iona Lake. Some bright-colored inline spinners in the river there for the trout also. And we're getting ready to get into that freshwater spawn for the bass. So guys have been using some lizards and some flipping baits, catching a lot of nice fish in Rainbow Lake, Union Lake. Beautiful. And even a few smallmouth have snuck into Union Lake. Yeah, catching a few of those.
Yeah, smallies at Union. Okay, Jeff, what about one of my faves, the chain size, the prickler? What do you got?
Lots of guys are getting out there as they're catching them, too, on minnows down in Manatico. Also catching some of those in South Vineland Park. Same type of deal. Use some bright-colored spinners like some gold meps or some bright-colored spinners from rooster tails or panther martins. My favorite way to catch them is I'll catch crappie and pickerel together on live minnows underneath a bobber. It's a great way to catch them.
Jeff, I was just going to ask you, what about the crappie, yellow perch, white perch bite, bluegills? Anything happening?
Yeah, the white perch bite's been phenomenal this year. Guys are catching them in all the rivers, using bloodworms and stuff, Morris River, Cohansey River, all along the bay shore. The yellow perch is a little early for them. That hasn't gotten going too much yet. And then now we're starting to get this warm weather, you're going to start seeing all the bluegills come up and spawn. And guys, you can catch them in the shallows everywhere right now with the 70-degree weather.
Okay, Jeff, you take care. Thanks, man. Have a good weekend.
Thank you, Tom. We'll see you.
And listen, just a reminder, next Saturday, April 23rd, it's the 21st annual Friends of the NRA Dinner. South Jersey is going to be at Masso's at the Crismo Manor. That's 210 South Delsey Drive in Glassboro. Very, very special guest on the line right now. For a minute, get him, he's always on the move, is Bob Viden of Bob's Little Sports Shop. He is also a former member of the NRA Board of Directors and head of the New Jersey Firearms Dealers Association. Talk about this out. It's going to be an outstanding event. Friends of the NRA dinners are outstanding events. Bob, how you doing, brother? Thanks for joining us. Very short notice.
Good.
Bob, listen, this 21st annual, man, this is a big shindig, is it not?
Yes, we started this, as I say, over 20 years ago, and it's been going very well. Anyone that can make it, come out. There's a good chance of winning some good prizes. There'll be some guns for auction. Have a good time, have a good meal, and have a great time.
Well, Bob, the festivities, listeners, they kick off at 6 p.m., but Mr. Biden, Bob, if I may, especially in the tenor of the current political climate, which is going to go right through Election Day, this is critical NRA participation. Join the NRA. It is critical, is it not, Mr. Biden?
We're very important this year because the next president will be probably appointing 3 Supreme Court justices, and we cannot afford to have one get on the court that's going to take away our Second Amendment rights. And we have to remember, vote freedom first in every vote we cast.
I'll tell you about, we did the gun owners did just have one one, decision go in her favor, if you want to call it that. But listen, it's very, very, very critical here. You're talking not one, not two, but possibly 3 Supreme Court justices, and 2 or 3 on the court right now are vehemently anti-Second Amendment. So, Bob, you can't stress
right now
enough
we're sitting
importance.
on a court that's basically 50-50, and the next appointee that takes Scalia's place, we're hoping will be a conservative, and is appointed by a president that will stand by our rights as Second Amendment.
Okay, listeners, next Saturday, April 23rd, the 21st annual Friends of the NRA dinner. It's going to be a beautiful facility. Masso's Crystal Manor, 210 South Delsey Drive in Glassboro. For more information, Bob, can people go to your website or call the store?
Yes, they're more than welcome to call the store anytime or go to our website.
Okay, go give the website and the phone number, please, Bob.
www.bobsvillesportshop.com.
Okay, Bob, by the way, before I let you go, how's the lovely Gail and that fantastic Operation Footsteps?
Operation Footsteps is really carrying on. We've got about 6,000 more pair we're taking out to send to Africa, and that will pass to 85,000.
Okay, Bob, God spares. We'll see you next Saturday night. Take care.
Thank you very much.
Hey, another reminder, May 14th. There will be an Open Buddy Bass Tournament down here at Lums Pond in Delaware. The sponsoring club is a Limits and Lunkers Bass Club. Kickoff is at 6, and you fish until the weigh-in's going to be at 2, fish until 2 o'clock. Let me tell you something, man. At Lums Pond, it's a good venue. Good. It used to be really, really good, man. A lot of pressure down there. Bass they are really smart in that little swim, man. And don't forget, there is still time to register for the Landisville Gunning Club's 11th annual White Perch Tournament. We had cool Dave Lorenzini on last week discussing this. It's going to be a great event, one of the premier, I'm not saying limited to perch tournaments, one of the premier tournaments along the Jersey coast and Jersey Inland, as a matter of fact, when it comes to the money. $1,000 first prize, $500 second prize. Third prize is $250. There's going to be a lunker pool as well, and a special $1,000 prize if the state record white perch is broken. For details and contact Stan the Man. He's at 856-364-6812 or Dave Lorenzini, 609-404-0581. Go to Facebook page Landisville Gunning Club, LandisvilleGunClub.com. You can register there. Now listen, it's $30 per angler. $30, Tom P, for perch. You heard the prizes. And they have the most outrageous cookout / barbecue / great post-tournament party that you can absolutely imagine. Again, next Saturday, Landisville Gunning Club's 11th annual White Perch Tournament. Now, you can register online, or if you want, you can go to the captain's meeting the evening before, right at the clubhouse. That's going to be the corner of 4th and Cape May Avenue in Estelle Manor. Sign up, I guess there's going to be some, knowing those guys and gals, some refreshments out there. That's going to be from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. to pre-register, or you can register online, do the PayPal thing. Let's wrap it up with some final trout stocking numbers in South Jersey for next week, next Thursday. Okay, Pond Lodge Pond down there in the Villas, 360. Shaw's Mill Pond, 390. South Vineland Park Pond, you heard Jeff talk about that from Blackwater Sporting Center, going to get 340. Tuckahoe Lake down there in quote-unquote the Game Preserve, the Tuckahoe Management Area, is going to get 400. The Cohansey River, 160. And a personal fave, man, the Morris River is going to get 320. Get out there and enjoy. A lot of fishing going on. It's still windy out there, trying to get offshore, man. These tog wrecks and reefs, it's going to be tough. Freshwater fishing is off the hook. You got drum there, Delaware, Great Bay rather. You have bluefish, Great Bay. Fishing is just exploding. Get out and enjoy. Take someone with you. Introduce someone to fishing. See you next week. Rack and Fin Radio. God bless America. God bless our troops. And nothing we can do about the cormorants. Just got to suck it up, Buttercup, man. Doesn't that piss me off? Anyway, leave it on a positive note. Get out and enjoy. See you next week. Rack and Fin Radio.